Yo, shout out to the Most High. The top of the high, see moving our Lord say this L-deez. Also known Lawrence One for another episode of I Need to Know. And this episode is brought to you by Shanae the Shea Body Butter Mix coming from Fame Media. Get y'all some. It's $15 hand in hand, and we will work out a shipping price. Ain't that right, S-Clad? So, how is that working?
Man, how you feeling, Brody?
I'm feeling good. What's up with you, Truck?
Oh, man, I'm chilling, man. Glad to be in here tonight, man. Thank y'all for the invite.
Let's start it off like this, man. For those that don't know, this dude right here to the right of me, right? He is one of my favorite people coming up, and I look up to this brother so much. He has like two talents that I wish that I had. This brother could cut hair. He owe me a haircut, though. This brother could cut hair. But I ain't got no hair.
You want me to get that baby hair?
Yeah. But this brother is one of my favorite graffiti artists. But this is where we gonna start. I like to start from the beginning, the middle, and then we segue to the end. So first off, how did you get your name Truck?
Man, you know, a lot of people think I got it from the street, right? But my mom gave me that name. And it was a whole bunch more on it. It was Lumpy Dump Truck when I first came out, right? First time I ever told that to anybody. But and as I got older, certain people call me Lump, and then some people call me Truck, and then my mother always called me Truckie. But Truck always stuck, you know what I'm saying, in the street.
You know what's crazy though, because it be evolutions to nicknames, and they usually start off long.
Right.
Like you call Lil Wayne just Wayne now. You know, you ain't gonna call him no Lil because it's too many of them motherfuckers, though. But check this out, though. This is what I want to know. How did you get into graffiti? I really want to know that because you was my, closest person back in the day when I was in 9th grade. You was in 10th. We know each other, you know what I'm saying, from Oakland. And I went to Mac. This was one of my running buddies. He took care of me because if y'all don't know, I'm from half North Oakland, half from West. He's straight from West Oakland. There's no question about that.
Yes,
in fact, he's from so deep into West Oakland, they call that shit lower bottom. And down here, we call it bare.
You understand me? But, man, I started just seeing it on the bus, right?
Okay.
Liking what I'm seeing on the bus windows, start going to the graffiti yards, seeing graffiti artists out there doing murals and stuff, and before you know it, man, I just grabbed a can of paint, start trying to figure that out, and before you know it, it went from trying to paint on the yards to painting on the bus, painting it all on the building. Hey, do you remember when I
painted Campbell Village?
Man, remember when I painted my porch and then I painted the school and they knew, they knew just where to come. Come and get me, have me out there with that big bucket of paint. Instead of going to jail.
For sure. You know, you was in 640, the legendary mob, 640. You know.
Shout out to 640, Steve, Tunes, Tap, Noon, Nibs, all y'all, man.
Thief.
Oh, for sure. Carlos, what's up with you, baby?
You know what? I have to rewind real quick because we mentioned somebody in the interview that I got to give a shout out. Mama Jean, who was like a mom to everybody. I remember she used to call me Pack and Save Lawrence. Pack and Save out the door, Pack and Save. Hey. But you know what? That made me feel proud to have a job, though. You know, because back in the 90s, I was 19, right? And I learned something about having a job. That's where all the women was. And that's when a lot of my friends got killed when I was at work.
That's some real stuff right there.
You know, I'm out the way 40 hours a week.
That's some real stuff right there.
You know, so shout out to Jean. You know what I'm saying?
Saved your whole life, huh? Hey, she was probably in there 90% of the time of her life, though. She was at
with her twin, your auntie.
Oh, Deborah. My auntie Deborah.
Yep.
Man, yeah, they stay in the grocery store.
For sure. Besides yourself, though, because 640 has some dope graffiti artists. Mm-hmm. Who was your other favorite member? Was it Steve?
My favorite member?
Like as far as you like their art the most?
In the crew?
Yeah.
Or just Steve was the I tip my hat to, he a GOAT, right? Because there was no end to him. Like he wanted to try everything that was impossible to do. He wanna ride on the side of the freeway. He wanna just sneak on the BART on purpose. If he could have got away with riding on the top, he would have. But I think as an artist, Hotep was a dope artist that I really appreciate his style of art.
Yeah.
He was solid.
Yeah. Was remember Kim Rex?
Yeah.
He was pretty dope too.
Yeah, he was. Who else? The boy up out of East Oakland. Cost. Yeah, he was pretty solid.
Yeah, from the 80s or the 70s. Yeah, Hassan. Yeah, that's the pattern right there.
He was pretty solid.
So what did you like most about doing graffiti?
Just the whole art thing, man. I enjoyed. I think it was a rush too. You know what I'm saying? You got to do it fast. Got to be on the go. But just the whole street art thing, man, I really love. I remember when we went to the yards and we met Mike Dream.
Yeah,
and all them dudes, man.
Peace.
And that's what really inspired me to be able to see them dudes back there working, doing something that was illegal, but they were doing it for Converse. They were doing a mural for a Converse commercial. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it gave me some hope. And now, you know, you look at it now, and here I am finna ready to try to still listen to some kids. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So this is what I want to talk to you about. Back then, it was like 93, 94. Snoop was still young. Talk about how tied the hip hop was in the streets to the graffiti.
Oh man, you had Souls of Mischief, Dale the Funky Homo Sapien, couple of them other dudes.
Farside.
Oh my God, Farside, old boy with the big hair, Coop.
Yeah, Boots Riley, Coop. Yeah.
And then, but see, then the music was so solid. Although Too Short wasn't really hip hop, but it all kind of worked together. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Casual. All them dudes, all the music kind of went together. Humpty, Digital Underground. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Pac with the dashiki, not Pac with the bandana.
That's Machiavelli.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it all kind of worked together, right? Yeah. And then, you know, doing that graffiti, we was all headphone junkies. Yeah. With tapes, no CDs.
Yeah.
You had that tape. Yeah. But yeah, man, it all kind of went hand to hand. And that's where you got to see you saw a lot of them dudes performing at a lot of the graffiti shows and parties. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't so much about the money. It was just so much about the culture. It was a lot about the culture. So you was able to get the graffiti artists with the music artists, man, and come out, and it used to be big. It was big. It was one big. Dale the Funky Homo Sapien was my dude, though. Yeah. And you know, he was a dope artist. He could draw.
You know what? I heard that. You know who else I heard could draw good? Yuck Mouth.
Oh, yeah, I ain't
Yuck Mouth drew the condom, the loony condom with the rubbers.
Oh, okay. Did he draw that dragon?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I didn't know
that. So, you know, so I want you to talk about, do you feel like, even though the rap has evolved so much, do you think that rap is actually, or hip hop is getting away from the graffiti part nowadays?
Oh, it is no longer a part. It's two separate entities. The graffiti is what it is, and then the music now is, I don't know what the music now is. I can't even keep up with it. You know what I'm saying? I can't even, you know, back in the day, you can say a whole song. Now, I'm just waiting for the hook. You know? Yeah. I'm waiting to catch that hook. You know what I'm saying?
You know it's crazy because I said back in the day, right? Rap was positive, but it had 3 verses. The first verse, you was thinking about it, getting in trouble. The second verse, you was getting in trouble. The last verse, you talked about the moral, how you don't want to get in trouble. But guess what? Now it's just 2 verses. A nigga listened to a song, he just heard the trouble. Yeah, for sure. So another talent that I looked up to you start cutting hair. What year did you start cutting hair? Like 1990, what, 4 or 5?
Nah, man, I was 13. So that was in, I could tell you exactly when. It was the summer of 91, and I was playing for the Rebels, and we was in Virginia, and nobody had haircuts. Now, I remember sitting there watching Sandra cut hair, waiting on my turn. Shout out to Sandra, triple, duple, quadruple.
Where's Sandra? OG. Griffin's or Berkeley?
I don't know. No. Old School Hives.
Okay, I've heard of that.
Yeah, that's where everybody from Mac used to go and get their hair cut.
Okay.
But you know, you went to Mac, but you're from North Oakland. But anyway, so I watched her, and then the artist in me, right, made me think I could cut hair. So one of my friends, he bought some clippers when we was in Virginia. I'm like, man, I know how to cut, man. You know what I'm saying? And we was out there rocking them bowl cuts. You know what I mean? At the basketball tournament. So when I came back, I went to the hood. asked them to give me some clippers. Shout out to Bushman. You understand me? I don't know where Bushman got my first set of clippers from, but, you know, I ended up with some clippers. And
the Lord works in mysterious ways. Somebody got... Hey, look, you know what? He probably walked in one of them little beauty supply stores. Like, hurry up and buy. Butch probably said, I ain't buying shit. Hey, give me some cocoa butter. That motherfucker probably tucked the whole set of clippers.
Man, give me some clippers in that nay-nay.
So, yeah. So we talked about the graffiti. I want you to tell me some of your greatest feats in cutting hair.
Some of my greatest who?
Feats, like accomplishments, like who have you cut like in the game?
I mean, I didn't cut a few NBA dudes. I think my two favorite my three, and it's like a photo finisher and fave is Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, and Miguel Petrus.
Okay.
Now, the one dude I had the best conversation ever with was Grant Hill. Grant Hill I had, and it was after his injury, right? And, man, we had like a real straight up conversation.
What was the temperament?
It was real chill, in his room, by himself, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a real mellow dude, real kickback. Nothing extra. You know what I'm saying? He was on the phone with his son, helping him with his homework when I came in, you know, and he was looking forward to retirement. Telling him, man, I'm ready to go home and be a soccer dad, you know?
Yeah.
And drop my daughter off at cheerleading practice and let my wife go back on the road and start touring again. You know, that was like what the conversation was. But he shared something with me, man, and he was talking about when he injured himself, right? And that's when it shifted. He said his focus was on, because at the time he was considered probably to be the best of the young dudes in the league.
Him
right?
and Penny.
He had but he was the one.
Yeah.
To where they was talking about he could be one of the greats, and he said he had that on his mind, right? That was the only thing he could see. He said, man, and that injury set him down, and all of it just went away, right? And he said it helped him to be able to focus. And, man, I went through something similar like that, you know what I'm saying, cutting that hair. And then guy said, you got to start doing these funerals. And, man, I started pouting. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I don't feel like going to no funeral, man.
Yeah.
I said, okay, we're going to trade Mike Petrus. We're going to trade Matt Barnes. We're going to trade all my money. I was feeling like Grant Hill.
Yeah, so now you preaching.
Yeah.
So, hey, look. Truck used to go buy the Bible. Now he go in it.
Man, I ain't gonna touch that.
So talk about when God called you to start preaching.
When God called me or called me to preach?
Called you to preach.
Like how that all jumped off?
Like, okay. Let's talk about the first time you got up there, and then we'll go a little bit backwards. The first time you got up, your first sermon.
Oh, okay. So my pastor had called me and said to me, just like this, he said, you know, in New Orleans, we learned how to swim. You know how we learned how to swim? I said, no. He said, you know, you just push his ass in the water. Right? So I'm like, okay, where we going with this?
I see where it's going.
You know, I'm like, okay, what's your point? He's like, well, I'm about to push your ass in the water. And I end up having to preach or teach at our brotherhood meet, right? And it was like real out of body. Like I could have never seen myself being a preacher. Like I didn't mind going to church, but actually doing something in the church, I couldn't see. But a preacher, I had this personal thing against preachers. You know what I mean? So to be one, that was a real, like, nah, I can't be. No, this can't be. You know? But when I got up there, it was cool. Like, I mean, it was like real out of body, right? So in my head, I'm saying, man, that's what I'm supposed to do. I got to go home and tell him, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm a preacher. I need to let him know. And bruh, he was on the East Coast. So I couldn't get a hold to him. And I went to bed and the enemy jumped on me and was like, nah, bro, you ain't no preacher. You still dude from Campbell Village. You still with the mess. You ain't got your life together. You struggling with this. You struggling with that. your mama dead, you focus, you know what I'm saying? Like, those was the games that he was playing, and it made me say no. So whenever my pastor would be like, hey, you got something you want to tell me? I'm like, nah, I ain't got nothing to tell you. So I ran for like a year, right? Like, I should have got ordained as a minister maybe a year before I did, but I ran. So I went through ordination like the parole board. oh, man. I had to stand before these pastors several times, you know what I'm saying? But that was the game the enemy was playing when I recognized, like, oh, I'm a minister. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm a preacher of God's word. Yeah. You know what I mean? And one day we was in service and my pastor was flowing, and then, you know, I was trying to help him to make sure nobody got hurt, and I turned around and he was just staring at me, and he leaned in my ear and said, man, you ready? And I was like, yeah, I'm ready. And then I preached my first sermon, and that's the end of that.
For sure.
Yeah.
No looking back.
No looking back.
So this is what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? You're a real popular person. You always been a real popular person.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Then the food gonna hit the water. So check it. Do you ever feel like when you be going places, people think that you're still the old truck?
Oh, for sure. For sure. I know they be looking for that person, right? And sometimes some people be trying to pull it out of me.
Give me an example.
Working my nerves.
Okay.
You know, pushing up on me. I mean, you know, it's still in me. Yeah. See, and what God did, he didn't take Truck and throw Truck away. Right. No, because Truck a solid dude. Yeah. But you just couldn't push Truck to his limits, right? Yeah. And at one point in time, Truck was a bully to DeMaurier. They know how to function together. DeMaurier is who God created. Nice, big-hearted dude you see passing out food, passing out toiletries, feeding the homeless, and these bike rides. That's DeMaurier, right? Yeah, yeah. So DeMaurier was afraid of Truck. They had to learn how to roll together. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? I know exactly what you're saying. So once I got them dudes to kind of like link up and learn something about one another, like, oh man, Truck, you ain't gotta protect me all the time. It's okay. It's all right for me to be a sensitive man, a caring man, a kind man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta protect that no more. So marrying them together is who God, you know, created me to be. Like, okay, I can still use that dude you made. Yeah. With the guy I made. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they work together. For sure. I didn't want to get on here talking about scripture, but Bible do say all things work together for the good. And he took that old dude and this original dude. I can't say the new dude because, I mean, although I'm new in Christ, but he took the original dude with the dude I made and made them all work together. For sure. So in church, I patented this little thing called I went from a creature to the preacher. I like that. Yeah. I like that. I might say that when I go out of town, like I made the shit up. Yeah, man, I'm preacher to preacher, man. And you said something about marrying. Do you think about getting married? Like, is that like on your top priority list as a preacher? No, it ain't on my top priority list. But I do have a desire to get married. You know what I'm saying? And that's saying a lot coming from me. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, like, well, I mean, you know me. Yeah, you know, yeah, but they don't. You know how the new Rolls Royce be. But yeah, man, like I really want that now. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like coming from being a player, and I'm just gonna call it like it was. If Oakland had a Hall of Fame, I think I'd be first ballot. You would? Hey, they had Biggie, we had Truck. And make sure. Hey, look. Hey, that fool used to like 97. We was so. Hey, he said it. Hey, look, he used to quote Biggie. He say this. What he say? What he say? You quoted Fox Brown. She said, you heard what she said? My sex drive all night like a trucker. He said truck. That nigga used to quote that shit like he wrote it. And then when Biggie used to say, he said, boy, that big nigga smooth. You understand me? That was my guy. Yeah, for sure. Biggs was my guy. You understand me? Black is ugly in itself. However, stay Gucci down to the socks. But yeah, man, you just coming from all of that. And even in that, man, God had to humble me. In that, I had to get my little feelings hurt. You know what I'm saying? And when I went flapping through that player's manual and got to see I ain't had nothing for a broken heart, it was just me and God. That's right. Yeah, it was tough.
Okay, and before we, I gotta you stupid. I gotta ask you a question. If you could spend a month apiece with 3 characters in the Bible solo besides Jesus and God, what 3 characters in the Bible would you like to hang out with a month at a time? Like a month with this person, a month with that person, a month with this person.
Oh man, that's easy. I would like to.
And why?
Why I would like to hang out with?
Yeah,
him?
like tell me the person and tell the audience like and why that person.
With David, I would like to hang out with David because he remind me of myself a lot. David being a shepherd's boy, tending the sheep, always around sheep, and I love to be around the people. Like I love being around the people, and that's what he did, right? I love his story because David was someone. Well, the scripture says that he was a man after God's own heart, right?
Yeah.
But he was also a man with his own issues. If you take the time to look through the Psalms and read David's stuff, David was praying because David was into some stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? David, like the 23rd Psalms, that's my favorite passage of scripture. You know, everybody got a reason why David wrote it. I don't know why David wrote it. I'm just glad he wrote it because he was going through something, right? Yeah. Then Peter, I like to hang around Peter for a month because he kind of remind me of who I was before I knew God.
Yeah.
He was a hustler, but then he was a cusser. You know what I mean? He was kind of wild, even through his time with Jesus. And then although Peter was like the hard-head disciple who never, well, I ain't gonna say never, but he didn't pay attention, right? He didn't pay attention, and he always didn't do what he was supposed to do. And then when the church jumped off after Jesus bounced and told them they got to keep it pushing, they got to keep it going, they got to start the movement, Peter was the one that he used, right? And I would like to sit down with Peter and just talk. I would love to talk to Peter about how that made him feel in spite of all of the mistakes he made while he was rolling with God, rolling with Jesus, and he still chose to pick him, right? And when we look at the world now, man, everybody kind of write off dudes after, you know, they make a few mistakes.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? And especially in the street. You're only as good as your last game. Like, if you ain't got nothing else to offer the street, you done, right? And God won't dudes like that. He wouldn't have snatched Peter up after he had a bad day at work.
Yeah.
Peter was frustrated. Wife at home, kids, her mama there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got his employees over there. Man, we ain't getting no fish today, man. He took us out here on this dry run. You know what I'm saying? And he dealt with all that. And Jesus said, hey, man, come flow with me. Even then, in that moment, he was on the boat. Man, you know, he don't know nothing about no fishing. I'm going to drop this net. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Peter, hard-headed dude. And I would like to sit down with him, and I would love to sit down with him and just, you know, ask him a few questions about how did it make him feel to see that guy still used him. But then Paul was just, he was ruthless, but then he went the same way for the kingdom.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The same energy he had in the street is the same energy he had for the ministry. You know what I'm saying? I think Paul, and I'm just using my imagination, I think Paul was holding their coats when they stoned Stephen. You know, they was hiring Paul. They had Paul. Paul was a hitman. He was a killer for hire. Anybody who was repping Jesus, Paul was coming to get you. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
To be he's recorded the most of anybody in the New Testament. Preaching and teaching. You know what I mean? So the same energy he had when he was in the street, same energy he had when he got in the kingdom. So, you know, I would love to be able to pull from them dudes. The first two kind of remind me of myself. I wasn't no killer in the street. But Paul, just how hard Paul went, and then Paul went that same kind of hard once he got in the kingdom. I would love to sit down and talk with him.
Speaking of street people, you know what I'm saying, that love the Lord, DMX just passed away.
Yeah.
How did that hit you?
One of my favorite rappers.
Yeah.
Right? And I remember, man, when I was working in this barbershop, in the barbershop that I own, that I just closed down to open up an art studio for kids, right? But it was in there, man. I remember hearing him praying on there, and I tried to play it in the barbershop, right? And some of the guys that used to come in, they didn't really care for me. That's when I had the blonde hair, the Cadillac, all that.
Yeah.
And they like, man, you cut that on, I'm gonna leave, right? But it was other barbers in there. I was unsaved. They made me, kind of not like Jesus. You understand what I'm saying? I didn't want to mess with Jesus based on the people that who was showing me. And let me just say that real quick. Ain't nothing wrong with Jesus. If you ever just take the time to look at Jesus, regardless of what people think about him, how people feel about him, what they may say about him, you can't ever find where somebody had a problem with Jesus. We didn't have issues and problems with the people who represent Jesus.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And if I could apologize a little bit for that, for how he's been represented and presented to people, because he's irresistible. You feel me? I didn't know you was finna bring me on here and shift it like that, but it's cool. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. But he's a cool cat, man. And I mean it just how I said it. I ain't no disrespecting what I just said. Like he's a real good dude with no problems with nobody. You know what I mean? But they made it hard for me, man. And I was just trying to hear this dude pray, not knowing that this dude was sincere in his prayer, really wrestling with some stuff at the time.
Yeah.
But they didn't even want to hear it because it was rap. He, cussing in the song before. But so just to be able to see him not lose that touch was huge, regardless of what he was wrestling with. Like you see him in his later videos, you could tell he was wrestling with something. He had that Bobby Brown.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So but he never lost sight of that, regardless of how bad the struggle was. So to see him go through that, man, see him go out the way he did, man, that kind of hurt.
Well, you know what? A lot of people will say, where somebody in his family said the reason why he may have passed, it may have been some side effects from the COVID vaccination.
Oh, yeah?
They said that he had a COVID vaccination days prior to his death, and that probably caused a heart attack.
Which one did he get?
I don't know.
Leave it alone.
Yeah, I don't know. Only God knows.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I've been watching this stuff with that vaccine, man. I seen a lady on TV, a couple of ladies, like.
What you think about the vaccine?
Next question. I don't really know much about it.
Are you getting it? Or is that something is that like talking politics?
No, you can ask me that. I ain't one of them people that's gonna be, mad at somebody pressing.
Hey, nigga, you taking the vaccine?
Hey, 'cause that's how they really be.
Yeah, they do.
How they really be out there.
All in the grocery store. Hey. Damn, you like, I'm at Pack and Save. Hey, nigga, you taking the vaccine? I said, man, if my auntie Jean was here, she'd kick your ass, man.
Hey, but it's on both sides, though.
Yeah.
You understand? The people who took the vaccine, y'all better get it. You know what I'm saying? And then the people who don't want the vaccine, they like, man, y'all gonna get them chips. Y'all going into the new world order. And, y'all credit cards now. Yeah. So is the vaccine the mark of the beast? Man, bro, that ain't for me to figure out, man. My thing is to continue to live on earth and be the best example I can be of a good person. Introduce people to the man who changed my life, so they can have the opportunity to experience the change I had. Maybe not become preachers, but to become better people.
I like that.
I don't get into all of the politics.
Yeah.
I deal with it from the way I use it, and I use it for my life. I don't try to use it to figure out something in the government and all of that, because in the Bible, you look at the government in the Bible resembles what we seeing right now. Just they didn't have iPads and internet and social media and all that, right? They gonna pull up on you on donkeys and horses and all. They gonna come find that way. But it's the same thing. If you ain't buying into what they doing, then you got you're against them. And if you ride with them, then cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, hey, to each his own. I don't know what they trying to do. They trying to take the dollar away and bring in this crypto. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I just know this. The Bible says all this stuff would happen, right? So if the Bible can say all this will happen, if it speak of this and it prophesied about this, right? why not believe in the part where the Bible say live like this, and none of that stuff even matter in your life? And when they say it wouldn't matter, it's talking about having effect on you mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually. Because we gonna be subject to it. We just lived through COVID. So I see people talking about how COVID was this tough, ugly, trying time, right? I don't know COVID to be that. That's not how my COVID experience was. My pandemic was not that. You know what I'm saying? I actually learned a lot of stuff about myself.
You know what? I learned a lot about a lot of people too, including myself. I learned that a lot of people thought that they kid's teacher was the fucking babysitter. You know, I heard a motherfucker say this. You know what? Get your shit. That's why I'm taking you to school. Hold on. Hold the fucking phone, man. The teacher is not your babysitter, and school ain't a punishment.
Yeah.
I'm tired of your ass. That's why I'm dropping you off to school?
Yeah.
The mentality, though.
Yeah.
You know, I learned that a lot of people can't stay with each other in close quarters.
Yep.
I learned how quick the world can shift, and you have to have a certain level of mental stability to make it through it all.
And you know what that is? A connection with yourself. Like you have to know yourself enough to be able to entertain yourself through times like that.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't like everybody crying about going outside. Man, I was good in the house.
Yeah.
Chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't mind that. I'm always by myself. I started traveling, going by myself. Everything I try to do, I do it by myself. I wouldn't even, and I'm single. I ain't got nobody, so it wouldn't be cheap. But when I go out of town, I don't, you know how you want to take you something with you, go have fun. You know what I'm saying? Nah, bro, I don't want to do that. Because then I got to do what you want to do. I got to stop and you may not want to walk where I want to walk and go see the ghetto. I want to go to the ghetto.
You know what? Or they might want to walk a different way when you get there. Or they, y'all might want to pick out something, go to the movies. But can we see that? Fuck that. I did not make it this close to get this close. You know, I had a motherfucking chick like that, right?
Oh,
we wanted to do a lot of the same shit, but when it came down to the little part, it was sour. Man, I want some fried chicken. We pulling up. We pulling up to KFC. Well, I want Church's chicken.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we had Church's chicken. Man, I can't wait to get the spicy. I don't like spicy part.
Hey, look. They in the restaurant. Like, you know what I'm saying? Can you bring me I want a Sprite, light ice. And they come like, no, this like 9 cubes. I wanted 4.
Yeah, shit like that. You know what's crazy, though? I was saying this, though. Have you ever been on go to your favorite restaurant and you order the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And a chick gets mad at you for ordering the same thing. You know why she gets mad at you for ordering the same thing?
Why is that?
Because she wants you to try something different so she can have some of yours.
Ain't that the truth?
Women like options.
They want to just eat out your plate.
Yeah.
And you know what used to bother me the most? I'm going to tell you what bothered me the most. You would sit there and watch me enjoy my food. Mm-hmm. And that last bite. You want to stick your fork over to come get my last bite? Oh, I'm about to turn into your mama. You know what I'm saying? Get your hand, man, bro. The last bite, but don't want you to have none of theirs.
Yeah. I just wanted to see what you was going to say. Well, then why did you ask? That you wanted to see what I was going to do.
Hey, and they still have a whole plate.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. But no, man, I used to just go out by myself, chill by myself, man, and that was good for me.
Yeah, I'm in recovery. It'll be 2 months clean and sober. You know? Yeah, for sure. So I feel good about that. You know, plenty nights on St. Ives and burritos, fucking with this guy fresh out of high school. I gained a quick 20. Burritos.
Now while we right here,
yeah,
everybody used to say. Now you've been knowing me forever.
Okay.
We've been knowing each other bus pass.
Yeah.
People used to say I used to flash because I played with my nose.
You don't even smoke weed or drink. I've seen you drunk one time on your birthday at Jeffrey's. And I don't even think Jeffrey's is around no more. Is Jeffrey still alive?
Man, that was the 21st birthday. I'm 43. I was lit.
I
was toe back. but they swear up and down that I was on. Man, I done had people all like, man, you don't get high no more. I don't get high. Like you went past drunk. Can you at least start at drunk? you don't drink no more.
You know, that damn near like ass abroad if she start hoeing and the bitch didn't even strip. You know what I'm saying? You know, she had one boyfriend in this motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And shout out to my partner Gideon. Hey y'all, that's Gideon. I love that nigga. Don't he look just like young Eddie Murphy?
Yeah, in front of the TV.
Yeah, for sure. That's my dog right there. That's my motherfucker right there. You know what I'm saying? So now you said you sold the barbershop?
No, I shut it down.
Okay.
And man, God had been tugging at me for a long time, bro. I was feeling like a hostage up in there, right? Like I felt like I had to keep it open for every reason, but something for myself. Like, you know, I'm really the only black business still down in my hood, right? So I'm feeling the pressure from the community, then just the whole longevity and being familiar with the space being what it was, and that's my income and all that stuff, right? And the pandemic had me to see I'm the product. I'm the brand, and I don't say that from a boastful place. See, and that's something I have an issue with the black community, man, that when we speak high of ourselves, we think a lot of ourselves. You think you all that, you think too much of yourself, old funny style acting, all that.
Can I finish that part since you're a preacher?
Yeah, you go ahead.
Ass nigga.
You understand me? So, I mean, and that's not a crime, bruh. To self-affirm yourself, to remind yourself that you are somebody, that you're doing well, that you're doing good, that life isn't as bad as the TV want to make it. No, man. And I learned how to be able to say that, right? And then just being from the hood and a preacher, like, you know, I've always been kind of scared to kind of talk. Like my brother always tell me all the time, like, man, go on and just preach, be free. You know what I'm saying? Flow. And I've always been a little nervous to get up there and be like, you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Because it's it. But bro, like now, oh my God, you should see me in funerals. I ain't gonna even tell you some of my subjects I done had to preach in funerals.
Yeah. You want to drop one?
No.
Have you ever slipped up and cussed on the mic?
Oh yeah. Yep.
That's one of my, because I think one day I might end up in the pulpit, but I am so scared growing up on Tusher, like,
hey, see, when you
and I know and I know it's in me. Hey, watch this, right, Truck?
Hey, so you know when you say you too strong,
yeah,
like you know what come behind that, right?
Yeah.
And it slipped out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It slipped out, and I grabbed my mouth. I was like, and
did they start clapping?
I turned to my pastor. He said, "Keep going."
So
keep going.
So were you once a deacon?
Yeah.
So the higher you go up in the church, do more ladies like you?
I don't necessarily think it's a higher.
Okay.
And let me just, you know, I think I just moved to do something different. I believe we all, well, I mean, in a very real sense, the deacons will sit on the left side, the ministers sit on the right side, and I can lean down the line and I could see every minister when I was on deacon board. I mean, I was on deacon board.
But watch this. Yeah, I hear all that, but women usually like the quarterbacks, Truck.
They like the who?
The quarterbacks, Truck. So you a minister, that's a quarterback.
Oh,
a deacon
okay.
is a lineman. That's what I'm saying. Women like the quarterbacks.
Man, you crazy.
Even though the lineman touched the ball first.
Yeah, I got you.
My God, brother, shout out, man. He said, Lawrence, you know what your problem is? And he sat me down. This is a pimp talking to me.
Got you.
I'm looking in his eye. He said, you know what your problem is, L? You're a person that loves people and likes things. You get with women that like people and love things. I said, what you mean? He said, say you even had things like a Benz and you wrecked it. You fuck with the type of bitches that be like, is the Benz okay?
You ain't never lied. Hey, Inside, outside. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's gonna be the response if that's what they like.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful thing about the church. See, people think because people go in church that they don't have no issues, man. We hear people talking about the church being a hospital, right? It really is.
Yeah.
But it's beyond just the building with beds. You know, when you go to the hospital, you have all these different departments you can go in. You got the heart department, you got the lung department, you got the eyes. Bruh, you have some of everything up in there trying to learn how to be better, right? And you have people who think because they go to church, you know, they supposed to have it all together. No, man.
No, they just supposed to be better than what they was, right?
Learning how to be better. Because you go don't necessarily mean you're going to be better.
Yeah.
Because when I was a deacon, and I can say it, oh man, you know, I got pictures from when I was a deacon, at Jeffries.
Okay.
You understand me? I mean, but I was in my element.
Yeah.
But I was learning.
Yeah.
See, and I was at a church that my pastor didn't squeeze me, right? But he gave me space to learn to be better. Mm-hmm, right. Mm-hmm. So, you know, all this stuff went away. Like it slowed down.
Yeah. Yeah. Diet soda now.
Yeah. Sparkling water.
That's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So what are you doing with the kids now?
So, man, right now I'm trying to tap into the gift God gave me, right? Is my art ability. And I'm getting ready to change the barbershop from uppercuts, expressions, brothers, it's been all of that, right? To watch this. Mama Jeans Create Hub.
I like that.
That's what that corner is about to become. Mama Jeans Create Hub. There's no way I can do anything in that neighborhood without acknowledging and paying respects and homage to my mother for all that she did.
Yeah, because your mom is like Mother Teresa down there.
Man, you know,
that'll
cuss you out. Mother Teresa, that'll cuss you out. Mother Teresa probably wouldn't cuss you out. My mom would cuss you out and then ask you, is you hungry?
Well, you know, watch this. Mother Teresa would just call Mama Jean to cuss you out. Like, oh, yeah, you know what happened, Jean. You know what? Hey, look, you know what happened, Jean.
But yeah, man, that's what I'm getting ready to do. So what we're going to try to create is a space to where kids can come, learn, have art classes and art clinics, right? Because I believe the freedom and the pressure release is in allowing a kid to tap into their creativity.
Yeah. When
you can tap into your creativity, then you find yourself in a peaceful place. Like when I'm drawing at home, I don't want to talk. Like, and I cut my ringer off, right? And I can go till 3, 4 in the morning drawing. You know what I'm saying? Lose track of time working on.
I was just going to talk about that because that's one of the purposes of life. You know what I'm saying? To tap into your own dimension, because the dimension is not governed by time and space.
But that's your that's your peace.
Yep.
That's your safe place.
Yes.
That's where you feel free.
You could be you.
You can be you.
You know, like me, one of my things is like I could just sit around and crack little jokes in my head all day. Stupid shit. You know, like I make people laugh, but you know, the shit that I actually don't say, that's off limits.
Right.
That I would never say out loud is the funniest shit on the planet. You know?
And that's good for you.
Yeah.
And there's so many kids, bruh, who don't have the opportunity to tap into what it is they actually like. Mm-hmm. To even find out if they like it or not.
Where they probably got talked out of it by some adult.
All that.
You know?
All that, right? And I want them to be able to have the space to be like, oh, I want to try that. No, I don't like that. Oh, I want to try it. No, I don't like that. Oh, I like this. And even in there with the art, we're gonna have it to where the kids, we're gonna have tutorials to where kids can learn how to work on bikes.
Yeah.
We gonna have the whole mechanic element to it as well. And then the pantry gonna kick in, and where we're gonna be able to. You going home, you ain't got to go home with nothing. Oh, you ain't got nothing to eat at home. Well, we can put something in there for a few days. You know,
well,
what
I could definitely reach out to some of these clinics and stuff like that to see if they could tell y'all where places to go, food banks and stuff like that. Yeah, because I know a few people that work at those type of facilities.
But let me just pause and shout out the Rollout crew, man. My brothers, man. We really tapped into something in the city, man, with these bike rides. Mm-hmm. Started out real small, just a few of us, and actually, I come up with the idea, and I ran it by my little brother Tyree and my big brother Huey about the East, right? And I sat on it because I was riding with another crew. I was riding my bike with another group, right? So I wasn't really tripping. I was having fun going and riding with them. And Huey like, man, we got to put this into play. So I'm like, man, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? And he, boom. Next thing you know, I look up, I start seeing the apparel, and I start seeing them out on the bikes. And then we had a joint ride with the Psycho Addicts and the Rollout crew in October for breast cancer awareness.
Yeah.
And man, and that's where it all started at. It jumped off in October, and then we started going to other bike rides, just trying to learn and see stuff, and the ROC stand for something. It's just not the Rollout crew. That's too easy. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But the ROC stands for building relationships, creating opportunities to develop communities.
Okay, I like that.
That's what that means. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole mission behind it, man. We don't just ride to just be out there, and we do have this little thing where we got this little competition amongst one another to have the cleanest bike, because we all have custom bikes, right? Like when we go to the bike rides, they be like, man, y'all got some clean bikes. Man, right on. But that's not what it's about. That's just something for us. You can pull up on something like a Peugeot or a Datsun type bike. Yeah. And I'm saying that because I don't really know what's a Huffy. You can pull up on a Huffy. You know what I'm saying? You can ride that Magna it doesn't matter. We just want you there. And we don't just want adults there. We want the kids to come out. Right? So like right now, man, I'm working on some stuff, trying to raise some money to be able to buy bikes for the kids, because we be out, man, I done seen some dudes tall as me on like 16-inch bikes, but doing the whole 15 miles.
Y'all ride for 15 miles every time?
Between 12 and 15. I just don't let the people know. Yeah. When they ask me how long we ride, and that's the preacher lie and be like, man, we're going 5 miles.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And we end up somewhere far. You know what I'm saying? And like for Christmas, man, we gave away 30 bikes. 30 bikes, man. You know what I'm saying? And then we gave away one big custom bike in a raffle. You know what I mean? So it's a lot of fun, but it's all about getting the kids involved and outside. Put the laptops down, put the iPads down, put all them, get out the video game chair just for a little while. And what we're learning is they want to come more and more and more and more and more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That's what that's all about. It's all about the kids right now. Got to break the cycle, change the game. It's a game changing move.
Yeah, I like how you said that though. That's a double entendre when we talking about bikes and shit like that. And you said break the cycle.
Yeah,
you know,
I like that.
Yeah,
I ain't even think about it like that.
Yeah, like a good fish place, they call it off the hook because it's off the hook.
Right.
And you catch fish on the hook
with all that frozen fish.
Yeah. Before we get out of here,
my favorite place
for real. Yep. Before we get out of here, man, tell where people they can find you at.
Man, if you want to find anything that I have going on, you can find me on Instagram at Truckie the Barber, and that Truckie is spelled with an I-E, not a Y, Truckie, the Barber, the regular word. And then for my art page, you can find me at Truckie Customs, and then for the bike club, you can find me at Rollout Crew. And then if you're on Facebook, it's Demorier Big Slim Evans.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came out, man. You know,
man,
you my brother, man.
Had me, man.
For sure, man.
Yes,
I love
sir.
you, boy.
Yes, sir.
And I am L-deez, also known Lawrence One, for another episode of I Need to Know. And as usual, Come on.